Hello and welcome to Flippin and Mashing, a podcast about pinball, arcade, pinball machines, video games, whatever else is in my basement, and whatever else is flying through Ryan's basement. This is your host Parnell, and with me is
Ryan.
Hello, Sorcerer.
Hello.
How are you sending out thieves to steal balls?
No, I'm sending out bandits. He's
Bandits.
almost got 11, so I call him Colonel Sanders.
Hey, Mr. Famous. Welcome to the show. You have your own game, dude.
I
Even,
do.
Even your picture's on the back box because you have a beard.
Yep. It's kind of cool. On Pinside, there's a Sorcerer's Apprentice thread, and there's actually people there. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. There's one person who said, I'm not going to quote them, but they said something along the lines of, Heist is amazing, but holy shit, Sorcerer's Apprentice and those fucking callouts are amazing. And that made my day. So, kind of living on a high today.
Yeah, that has to feel good.
It does. Also, pro tip, Zach yelled at us. He said, stop using specific dates and days because it's bad juju. So, Zach, for you, leave this in right up until I tell the date specifically, but it is...
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Have fun with that, Zach. Love you, buddy. We'll see what he ends up doing with that, because I'm sure he'll end up editing it, and it'll be kind of funny, maybe.
This must be some sort of inside thing.
No, but it was feedback that was passed on. So, for future reference listeners, we will no longer say specific days or dates because, it can get confusing.
I guess unless we put it in the context of what the day is that we were recording.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, enough about that.
Why are we recording so fast?
We're trying to make it up to our lovely listeners because I'd just like to go out and say, like, on a limb, listeners, thank you. We had I think, 2 people write into us, so that's amazing. So again, I'm not going to give the date because I already did that, but it's only been a few days since our other podcast went up. A day, right?
Was it Monday night?
Well, it was Monday, wasn't it? See, like, Zach's gonna have to cut all this.
Oh my god.
It's only been 2 days though, right?
I have kids, man. I don't remember anything.
Okay, well, whatever. In the 2 days, thank you for the couple people that wrote in. To the rest of you, shame on you. It's triple digits, by the way. So thanks, but not thanks, I guess. I love you though. Still, just you guys could message us more regularly. Anyways, moving on from me scalding our audience, we now dropped our listeners from whatever it was before to the 5 people that always listen. Hey, thanks for staying on.
Way to make that awkward, Ryan. Hey, what are you drinking?
Nothing.
Yeah,
it's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, fortunately for me, my son got sick again and passed that on to me. So I have a pretty fun cough. I am drinking raspberry zinger tea with honey.
Ooh, any tea with honey is some good shit when you're sick.
I forgot that we had tea, and so I was next to my wife and I opened the fridge. I'm like, oh, I need something for my throat, and she's like, "Why don't you have tea?" I'm like, duh, it's right there. Should have been thinking because all I had was water. So
yeah, duh.
I'll probably get on the tea train tomorrow.
Tea train.
Do you have a favorite tea, or do you just it's whatever? Because
ooh,
green tea and black tea, straight up, tastes like crap to me.
Yeah, no. Okay, so Chelsea is a tea snob.
Yeah, I think I saw that when I opened your drawer.
And I mean, legit tea snob.
Like stacks of flavors.
Yes. So I think my favorite flavors are lavender chamomile with honey when my throat hurts. And that's also just like really fire by itself. But then also she bought me some apple cinnamon
Hmm.
tea, and that is really good with some honey in it as well.
I bet you
Uh,
that's good on like a cold day.
yeah, because it's kind of like a
Pumpkin spice latte, but tea.
no, no, it's like an apple cider but lighter, which is kind of nice.
I gotta see if there's pumpkin spice tea.
You are such a basic bitch, you know
Like,
that?
okay, I'm gonna admit something to the internet public. Starbucks has a pumpkin spice cold brew, and it is dang delicious, and I will definitely drink that.
Basic.
Let's see. There's chai pumpkin spice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like chai stuff?
I hate chai stuff. I think Chelsea actually really likes it though.
Yogi has pumpkin spice tea. Huh. What's at Target? Oh my god. I gotta send this to my wife.
Well, you're making the 20-minute drive over to Target tomorrow.
uh, for the update later, I'll be having. I was driving all over today.
Yeah, you were. Did you end up getting what you needed though?
Yes, technically.
What the fuck? Okay. Well, I guess that later. All right, whatever. Anyways, Parnell. So one thing that's happened somewhat recently is you had a bit of a get together. It's been a while ago now, but you had a get together recently at your place, right?
Dude, it must have been. It must have been the Friday before my kid got sick. Cause man, time has flown by. But like, my son
I
was
mean, stuff.
unsick for a week, so it was then. But yeah, I had see my two friends and then my neighbor friend. So yeah, there was how many is that? Four of us. And I had some pizza, and my fridge was full of beer and sparkling water and stuff. And a couple other people were invited, but they couldn't come. But we got to
Fuckers.
play the current lineup, which was the
Ain't so
P3.
current anymore.
The games have been listed, so there's an update. The P3 with the Heist Playfield, Ghostbusters, Metallica, Tron, Medieval, and Lord of the Rings, and my broken skill roll.
Yeah, that's always gonna be fucking broken.
My wife actually. Oh my gosh, so many updates. So Home Depot called, and the dry bar cabinets are in. And
How
so
exciting!
where that is going, the P3 and the skill roll are there. And my wife looks at me and says, "Where are you putting that?" It's like against the wall somewhere because it's so small. Uh,
So, listeners, what he's actually saying is he has like a 98.5% complete skill roll that's going to be up for sale soon.
oh, he- if you need to sell stuff, start a podcast because once you start saying you have a highly wanted game for sale, you get just floods of emails.
Oh, yeah. Now, okay, listeners, I know I scalded you earlier, but y'all fucking on point when it comes to games that are up for sale, though, because we had a couple of y'all reaching out to us asking to buy some of these games. So good on you guys. That's really going to make it a lot easier for us to sell shit in the future if we can just come on here and be like, "Hey, I'm getting ready to sell this," and we get 3 people trying to buy it.
It's
So
actually
thank you.
yeah, it's been nice to sell to people that most of the time when I sell stuff locally, it's to someone that is new to pinball. And so there's a lot of older collectors who don't like selling to those because it's maybe a little more hand-holding and they have questions or they'll come back. Like it's probably the coming back with problems that they're scared of. So selling to people that have listened and kind of know you. So like we talk about what we did to the machine, and so there's some sort of trust built up, and then they're also collectors. It makes it a little easier. And like when we sold Joker Booker, that was pretty smooth.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, uh, it. it actually was really nice for that to work out because, we're not going to be given, backroom savers deals or anything. That's an inside joke, but we do try to hook up our listeners when you guys reach out to us. It's not going to be crazy, but we'll give you a little bit of a discount just because we like kind of this relationship that we seem to be building with the listeners that are listening in on this. So do know that we really appreciate you, although you are mostly silent. Shameless plug, Flippin and Mashing at gmail.com and Flippin and Mashing on Facebook. Please hit us up. But okay, so what kind of pizza did you guys have at the party, though? That's what I'm really interested in.
All right. So I must have had another get together a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Those same people came over, and I had said that I was going to get Papa Murphy's, which is the take and bake, and we with the little kids and the daycare pickup and my wife. I don't know if she started her second job then, but it got just way too nuts for me to go grab it. So I ended up just ordering Domino's, which I personally think is a fine cheap pizza. Like it tastes good to me. I don't care. And one of my buddies was like, "Oh, I was looking forward to Papa Murphy's." I was like, "I know. If this isn't horrible though. It's not like it's the Domino's from 2002."
I mean, you might as well just have got some fucking Jack's pizzas, man. I mean, what the hell? I'd have been
Oh boy.
mad. I'd have been like, I drove 2 hours over here to eat fucking Domino's. I'm going home.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan, for the free pizza.
I mean, Domino's. Okay, let's think about this for a minute.
Have you had
I
it
think Domino's
recently?
is my least favorite pizza out of all the, like, we're going to say air quotes here, fast food pizza chains.
And you've had it recently, right? Like within the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's better than it used to be because
Oh
holy
yeah.
shit. Like in what, like the mid to like, I think it was like the mid 2010s. Domino's was fucking rough. Or
It was
no,
cardboard.
yeah, it really was. Like
They
you couldn't tell where the pizza ended and the box began. But they
they
did
have
step back. But yeah.
yeah, they've updated the crust and all that, but they also have a gluten-free pizza that is also soy-free.
Mm,
So my throat appreciates that. I don't always only eat that. I sometimes like to sneak the tastier pizzas. The Philly cheesesteak pizza from Domino's is pretty amazeballs.
okay. Yep. Yep.
So I'd recommend that faux show.
See if we have any listeners that live in the Midwest. One of my favorite, we're going to use again air quotes, fast food pizza chains.
Taco
And this
Bell.
is going to sound crazy to people that don't live in the Midwest. Is Casey's Pizza.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
What? Oh, okay. So Casey's is a gas station,
Oh God, I
and
I've seen that driving out to like North and South Dakota.
yeah, Casey's Pizza. I mean, like seriously, for what it is and how cheap it is, it's probably the best pizza you can buy.
Okay, what about Quick Trip Pizza? Have you had theirs?
Yes. Okay. Quick Trip Pizza has a sausage and cheese curd pizza,
What?
and
Cheese
that
curds.
slaps really hard. And I think it's like $6. So, I mean, I think that's cheaper than Casey's, but I think I like Casey's cheese to sauce to crust slash like bread ratio more than Quick Trips.
Do you like hand tossed pizza, thin crust, deep dish? Like what do you dig in
Mm.
usually?
So I like pan or deep dish, but I will always like if I have the choice, stuffed crust is where it's at.
Hmm.
And give me that cheese in the crust.
So I have a problem with eating a lot of food that tastes good,
Mm-hmm.
and so
It's
when we
called
get
getting fat, and I'm part of the club. But yep, go on.
when someone ever orders thin crust, I just like shake my head like crap, because I just feel like I can just eat way more,
Yeah, because
and I
there's
do
like
eat
no
way more.
crust.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of thin crust. I think it's my least favorite.
it's
Um, but
it almost. Oh my god, it's gonna sound so stupid. It almost seems less satisfying. It's
yeah,
almost like skinny vodka or whatever they call it, right? It's like it's vodka, but it has less calories. And it's like, what? You're drinking to drink. Like, there's going to be calories no matter what.
I mean, yeah, but that's why you get on them seltzers, or as my brother-in-law calls it, baby water.
I gotta go refresh my baby water fridge.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy eating tons more pizza because it'll fit. Because the standard crust, the pan crust, just fills me up.
I just like the crispy pan crust from like Pizza Hut. Like that's
Oh,
always good.
I have not had Pizza Hut in a long time.
But Pizza Hut stuffed crust is still like,
Re-
I think, king.
you know what I
On
should
the
do? I should surprise my children. Who? Oh my god. Okay, so this
well, they
is
don't deserve much of anything right now, man. All they're doing is just getting you sick.
yeah, no joke. Okay, so randomly, my wife for our frozen pizzas at home, usually she'll pick up lots of it's like a bar pizza, a bar frozen pizza.
Oh
It's like
yeah, yeah,
lots of
lots of
matzah or
matzah. Yep, those are
Kettle
good.
River. And
Okay.
she got one that was macaroni and cheese pizza.
Oh, no, that's one of my favorites.
Oh, okay. So like I had forgotten about it, but tonight, what happened? No one planned dinner, and so all of a sudden I was like, oh great. You know, she got the kids home and it was like just after 5 and I was trying to get the stuff sorted out in the garage and it was like, what are we gonna do? Like peanut butter jellies? She goes, I could do frozen pizza. I'm like, go for it. I'll take care of the kids outside. Throw that baby in the oven. Let's get rocking. That was actually surprisingly good. I was I was down with that pizza.
Yeah, okay, so my 3 favorite
Wait,
pizzas.
wait. Hang on. Sorry. I need to
Oh,
finish the
okay.
story because now I remember why I started it. My
Okay.
daughter. I don't know if any other people's kids do this. I did this when I was little, and I now know why my parents wanted to slap me. She only wants to eat mac and cheese. Literally, Saturday morning. I'm ready to make bacon, sausage, pancakes. What else do I make? French toast, like, some 5-course breakfast. And it's like, hey, what do you want for breakfast? Mac and cheese. It's like, are you kidding me? You kidding me? And then she wants like the crappiest crap mac and cheese, right? Like the dollar box of Kraft. So we have mac and cheese pizza. It's her favorite thing on top of my favorite thing because I don't even think she eats pizza. And she takes one bite and she's like, I'm done. Did you like it? Yeah, it's good. Okay. Then keep eating dinner. Nah, I'm tired. It's like, what? So crazy. Kids are so nuts. That's my
They are pretty
story.
crazy.
Okay. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say my top 3 pizzas are macaroni and cheese, uh, Casey's gas station pizza, like burger pizza, like cheeseburger pizza,
Mm.
with pickles.
I was going to say, you have to have pickles on that.
Yeah, and that is like insanely good. Um, and then I do really enjoy toppers. They have
Oh,
a
sure.
loaded, I think it's like a loaded potato where they take little like coin hash browns and put it all over with like some sour cream and some nacho cheese and some other stuff on top. Oh, oh,
We just got
shit's so good.
Toppers in Duluth last year. 2
I'm
years ago.
jealous because Toppers is so good.
I think there's one in Duluth and one in Superior. So like they just got up here. I haven't had it yet.
You need to, because like their macaroni and cheese pizza is like one of the best.
Hmm. Um, Pizza Luce. There is one in Duluth, and I used to work downtown, and we'd go there for after work events or whatever. And I swear they had a garlic mashed potato pizza, and that was so spectacular. I think it's pulled off the menu, but it might be a secret menu item. That was a
Mm,
banging pizza.
okay. Well, not to cut this conversation short, but
It's
we're
20
20
minutes of
minutes
pizza
in
talk.
and we've been talking about pizza. So,
Okay, so we had Papa Murphy's, and I think I got like a pepperoni so that my kids could eat it, and then a it was a chicken Mediterranean or something. It
yeah.
was just like a chicken pizza. It was fine, like with white sauce.
Okay. Well, I mean, like buffalo chicken, I'll
No,
throw down on,
oh,
but you know, like some buffalo bacon chicken. Oh yeah.
oh, you're making me want to eat.
Yeah, I know. I'm hungry now too. Anyways, so fat people talking. Skipping forward, What did your friends think? Because I think this is the first time they got to see the P3, right?
This is the first time they've played the P3.
All right, so back on pinball, back on track. What did they think about the P3?
They really were like, why isn't it in your pinball row? Why is it on this wall all by itself?
Because it's better.
No, so um, they got here. I wanted to kind of not walk them through it, but just make sure they understood it. And so we all started a game of heist, and I kind of explained it right because the ball launches from the top real fast, and like the in lanes look a little different just because it's a screen. But once they figured out like, oh, there's an item down there, and I kind of just let them play, and then I had to go pick up the pizza, and so I just said, hey, you guys keep playing, I'll be back. And when I got back, they were still playing the heist, and then they pretty much played the heist the rest of the night. And then toward after we got done eating, I said, "Hey, let's play Silver Falls, just to change things up." And so we switched over, and they got a kick out of that. It took us forever to get out of the living room, and I was like, "You guys have to play the kitchen." And my one buddy was kept saying, "We can't cheat." I was like, "We gotta go off the save. We gotta go off one of my saves." And so we used my save. I have on my profile, I have every room is saved. So we just loaded up a couple rooms off my profile, and they got to play the kitchen, and they honestly they loved it. And we went back to the heist again, and they couldn't get enough of it. I I don't know if they listen, but I was gonna try to get them a Christmas present or something, and I asked them what their favorite games were. And one of them was like, the P3, so amazing. And I was like, I thought Black Knight 2000. He was like, yeah, that's old though, but P3 is the best game ever.
Hell yeah. Well, it's good to hear that we might have some more potential P3 owners here eventually. And I'm glad to hear that more people got to play Heist. Because if there's one thing I can project to everyone listening is you really need to go on Pinside, or you really need to write into us if you're close to the Midwest. And you need to play the Heist, and you have to play the P3. Even if you've played Lexi Lightspeed or Cosmic Heart, you really need to play Heist, and you should really play Sorcerer's Apprentice, where I'm the voice. But you definitely need to try those out because it's like the sleeper game of 2020. Excuse me.
I
So
I would recently the P3's been getting a lot of attention on the forums and stuff, and I remember some people even saying like, "Oh, I've only played P3 back when Lexi was there. I should probably try it." And it's like the P3, the heist really, I think, stepped it up to
yeah,
people who didn't they wanted just a plain pinball game. They didn't appreciate kind of the DIY and all the mechanics and the abilities. Like they didn't see the future. You really got to play the heist. That's it was a eye-opening game changer.
yep. And you got to play Sorcerer's Apprentice because seriously, it's fucking nuts. I really, really, really love it.
And you should play it before the next game comes out.
Yep, which is TBD, but coming soon. We haven't gotten any, more hints or teasers or anything, but
Let's
I
see.
assume by the time that the teasers start dropping, they're really close.
They're not teasing though, so
Not yet.
I mean it could be
They
like
aren't at
deeper,
that
like
point.
4 years.
No, no. I have a strong feeling that we're going to see something by the end of the year. So if anybody's seriously considering a P3, you need to buy it now before this licensed theme drops, and you're potentially waiting like Stern long or JJP long, a year plus before you see your P3. So just saying.
Let's see. 2 months ago they dropped Sorcerer's Apprentice. Last month, because it's October now. Last month they dropped the Wi-Fi update. Oh, dude, I talked to Jerry today for a little bit. Actually, randomly, you can send when you so it's really neat because I'm very technical, and so when there's a problem on the P3, like if I notice a bug in a game or in the menu system or whatever, I want to send whatever information I can to Multimorphic to fix it, right, or to show them. So they have,
Right.
excuse me, they have logging. So on Barnyard and the Heist, I've sent logs in to Multimorphic to help them troubleshoot my problem or a problem with the game code. And you turn it on, you play, and then you go back and you then generate the log to your USB stick. It is now with the Wi-Fi update, you can just literally send them the log file via the Wi-Fi. Fuck,
That is so awesome.
dude! I know that Nick Baldridge would be like blown away by this. I'm wondering if you can enable that for third-party games. Like if it might go to Multimorphic, but they could just forward the log file to Nick. That's pretty sweet though. Like being able to troubleshoot and send logs all without having to open the coin door. It's
Yeah,
bombastic.
no, that is super cool.
Sorry,
Like,
that's like nerdy excited, but that's pretty sweet.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What else? What do we think the game is?
Oh,
Is it Frosty the Snowman?
it's probably My Little Pony. I mean,
No, that's
that's been
Stern's
talked about a couple
shenanigans.
times.
What if it's like Claus versus Halloween, like some sort of jack o' lantern fighting?
Mm. Freddy versus Jason. There we go.
Hmm.
That flop of a movie.
Jason in space.
There we go. Now we're talking. Sign me up. Well, in related P3 news, I don't think this person currently listens to our podcast, but I actually recently, someone that's in North Dakota that's an operator, just bought a P3. He put his deposit down. So congratulations to this mystery person. I won't use his name, but he's out in North Dakota and he just got a P3 after talking with me and having played it a bunch and now hearing about the new license theme getting ready to drop.
Wait, so he's played
The
it already,
moment I told him that, so he's played Lexi and Cosmic Heart and
but
enjoyed both of them.
but not yours. He played them somewhere else.
Right. Yep. No,
Okay.
he's played them at conventions.
Oh, okay.
However, this operator's only complaint with the P3 is he had bought a dialed in, and a dialed in literally next to any other license theme would get smashed in
Oh,
earnings.
so so that begs the question: is he gonna route this P3 because this will be
Yes.
interesting?
Yep. It is going to be routed. So there's going to be a heist on location, which is super exciting. And when the new game drops, he's presumably going to be buying the new game too.
Wait, but he ordered a P3. When is he gonna get it?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
That's for between him and Jerry and whatever the line looks like right now. I think Jerry said 3 months, so he might actually be able to get the P3 with the new license if it comes out by the end of the year.
Yeah, I remember when I ordered it, I just like a week snuck in before lead times grew, but it was about that. I think it was right under that, and
Yeah.
it came faster than I thought. Like when you do it, you're like, oh, 3 months is forever. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh God, I gotta, make the final payment and I have to get like my shipping in ready or in order. My stuff has to be open in my garage to dump this game.
Mm-hmm.
It comes up quick.
It does.
I've never talked to this guy, but I know that person like from you. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll have to kind of keep us updated on how they do on route because I'll be interested.
Oh, I'll be asking him, and
Because it's
he'll
like,
probably tell me because I'm not competition to him
yeah, like, do you switch the playfield every week or every month? Like, that's how cool is that? You can like switch the game out without having
without
to
having to move it.
move it, and you can
That's
freshen
like
up
an
your lineup.
operator's dream,
Yeah,
right?
I mean that was the point of Pin 2K, right?
Right. Well, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I guess the same sort of basic principle, just not. All right, so P3 talk's over. We're gonna keep briskly moving through. I have a quick review. So, listeners, some time ago, those who are regulars know that I had talked about fatigue mats and how great they are down in your basement. Now, initially, my lovely wife Chelsea had bought me some ones off of eBay, and they weren't, bad. They were nice enough, And then I had another listener. Shout out to Justin. Hi, Justin. Justin got me 3 as well for Christmas. So I had 6 total down in my basement, one in front of every machine, and it was really nice because standing on, uh, a small thin piece of insulation or whatever you call it, and then the carpet itself that was on top of concrete gets pretty fatiguing after a little while. Well, for my wedding gift from the amazing Parnell, uh, he gifted me a pin mat from Titan Pinball. And listeners, I cannot stress this enough. They're fucking amazing. If you go and stand on that mat and then go stand on either of the other ones that I have, it's like you're not even fucking standing on a mat. Like it's not even like it's your mind is like you're not standing on a mat. And you're like, but I am. And your mind's like, nope, you aren't. I'm sure of it.
Okay, so do you have the stern mat?
I do not have the stern mat. I have now 2 glow in the dark. Shout out to Chelsea because she bought a second one. We loved the first one so much. Um, Pin mats from Titan Pinball. And they are, I like, seriously, we tried the one you gave us, and she bought a second one immediately because we had just gotten back from our wedding where we had been standing for like 4 or 5 hours on actual cement floor for that
Yeah,
entire time.
yeah, tilts all cement.
Our feet were like on fire when we got home. Parnell, I'm literally, and listeners, I am not lying when I tell you, we were able to put that mat down and stand on it, and our feet no longer hurt. Like it was incredible. This magic mat. So if you have pinballs in your basement or anywhere in your house, I highly recommend getting at least one and moving it around like oh god, from Buffalo Pinball owns a
Kevin?
P3. Kevin,
Yeah.
thank you. Kevin Malone, another avid
Ken?
listener. Kevin
Uh,
Malone,
Ken loves listening.
he does. Definitely. He had reviewed one a while back, and I was kind of like, I'm not sure. He undersold the shit out of it when he talked about it. This pin mat's amazing, so go get one. And the glow in the dark one's pretty badass too.
When I tried to get it, so the first gift took a while to think of, and then when I tried to get it, I was denied after waiting.
Whoops.
So then I had less than a week to figure something out, and instead of going to Target or whatever, I was like, we need to think of something. And I talked to the owner of Titan. I'm like, I need this for a wedding. It was like a Monday or whatever, and I'm like, I need it by Saturday. And he's like, ooh, your best bet is ground. I'm like, oh my god, what if it doesn't get here? He's like, I'm pretty sure it will. And it actually ended up coming a day early. And I was like, I emailed him back. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I opened it to take out the receipt, but it was like, it was thick. It was like, what is that, an inch and a half?
At least.
It is squishy, yeah. And it's angled on the sides, and it has a nice pattern
Yeah, it
of
has a lovely glow in the dark
glow in the
pattern
dark
all around
pattern.
the border. Yep.
So my basement is tile now, and I'm always on my knees having to get in the coin door or get under my games. And they also make knee pad ones, like a mini pin mat, and then a knee pad, like a single knee pad mat. And I was like, man, I should just get one of those just to have. And so maybe I'll snag a standing one, the full like one full size for the basement just to have to start. We'll see what happens, but it'd definitely be comfortable if I have to get under my games.
I'm telling you, you're gonna at least have one because it's awesome sauce. So, just wanted to do that quick little discussion about it because holy shit, is it amazing. Moving on. All
So,
right, we'll save me for last.
oh,
Best for last.
oh,
Yeah, I know. So, Parnell,
mm-hmm.
last we spoke,
Oh
I was
boy,
really trying to like convince you and show you the way that you can occasionally change up your lineup.
we can say goodbye to games.
You're right.
Ugh.
So what has happened since last we spoke? Because a tiny bit, just a little bit has happened. So can
Yeah,
we talk
it's
about that? Go ahead.
I want to say it was like that night. You you listed my Ghostbuster for sale. Maybe it was the next day because I sent pictures. The funny thing is, he lists it, and within 3 minutes, there was people hitting him up, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" And it made me realize, like, man, there are people looking. It's just like me looking for Monster Bash now. There's people that want this game, and they are just hyper focused on getting it. And so I played it again, and I was like, I mean, I can let it go. It's fun. There's a lot more for me to play, but yeah, it's just okay. So Ghostbusters is sold. That
Gasp.
that's done. Got the palette today.
By the way, I just want to go ahead and sneak in here. I fucking told you so. But continue.
I guess I always thought it would sell, but whatever. So I got the palette. It's ready to go. Tron, a local friend that came to my little pinball party, he's picking up Tron, so I will still get to play it. And I kept finding extra parts for that. Oh, I have extra parts for that game. Uh, I got Tron at the right time. I could probably sell that for like almost double. Not really, but just you could almost make a second Tron out of it. So Tron's gone. I don't think that was a hard one to sell. I think that's the one I've talked about for like 2 years, where I was like, well, it's the first game I'd sell. So that wasn't the hardest one to get rid of. I already kind of knew that it would probably leave if I ever wanted to change it up. And then
Mm-hmm.
we spoke, and you're like, just throw your Lord of the Rings up for this price, see what happens. And I threw it up and said, here's, if you want it shipped, here's this much extra to ship it, because I'll do the bulletproof foam that Chad does. And I think that the first buyer, hit me up in 5 minutes, and they wanted to surprise their significant other. So I was like, this deal might not work, but they didn't seem too gun shy about the price or anything. So I was like, okay, this will be right. I got a I got an offer from someone else out of the U.S. that was like, well, I'll give you this price because that's what Pinside said. Let me know. I'm just like, nope, I'll ignore that. That's well below market value. And then some distributor hit me up, said, hey, we take this. Is this your asking price? And I said, yep, let's go. I was like, oh, okay. So the game sold. The game is gone. So 3 games are gone. And hopefully they get wrapped up tomorrow because I got to move those cabinets into my living room to make room for the pallets. And then I I'm on the hunt hard for a Monster Bash Remake LE. And there's nothing for sale at the moment. We hit up a bunch of owners, and no one really wanted to sell it yet. The timing wasn't right. Like, I just missed out on one for sale just south of us, and then we messaged some people that had just sold theirs as well, or we're like, oh, I just needed to keep it because the game I wanted got pushed. So bad timing on my part.
Yeah, but also, if we can talk about it a little bit, you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. There's that too.
The funny part is the value on these games is just ridiculous. But I want one so bad that I don't care. I want that one. So I'm one of those people now that is probably going to help push up the value of the game. I guess I could go with an SE. I saw somebody on Facebook with an SE and a topper, and I feel like they're priced high. But I threw out the question like, hey, if you could take some mods off, or like, what are you looking for to buy or sell this single game? So we'll see what they say because I'm not paying a limited edition price for a premium. I'll pay
Yeah,
a.
but it has the topper, which is all you fucking care about. You know,
But
you're
that
literally like splitting hairs over a topper that if CGC had sold it, it would have been $600, and it has no moving mechanical parts to it whatsoever. It just lights up.
yeah, that's fine. But it also has that you know plaque on the lockdown bar.
Yeah, I'm sure you could get that made from somebody. They
um,
literally sell that for pros that don't come with it, but premiums that do for Stearns.
yeah, but there's no button there. I don't know.
You're right. So the plaque's kind of fucking pointless, isn't it? Whoops.
I want it to match my monster or
Holy
medieval.
shit. They don't match though, because your medieval is, I mean, it's an LE, but it's not really the LE, because the LE that actually was the LE is the Royal, not your LE. And
Uh,
Cactus
um,
Canyon is the equivalent of the Royal, but CGC decided to make it more confusing by making it less confusing and changed it to an LE.
okay, so yeah, so you're wrong. So I own a medieval LE, so it is an LE with
But it's not the LE. It's not the one to have. It
no.
has
I
all
don't.
the mods to make it the one to have.
You're ridiculous.
I know.
The only thing that the Royal had above me was what the powder coat.
In the plaque.
Oh, the Royal. Okay, so
Yep. See,
I have
it doesn't have that lockdown bar plaque.
I
It's
have. Oh,
totally worthless.
is that what's on? They have that on the lockdown bar.
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just trying to call you out for your shenanigans because you know it, I know it, and the listeners know it, but you're just blind ignorance, charging full speed ahead, willing to pay like actually. I'm going to use the PC safe term regal prices for a topper that doesn't move and a plaque that says limited edition number of X
There's
out of
color.
what 1,000 or whatever.
There's a color changing stand up. I think at
Don't
Frankenstein that
you?
changes.
Okay, so you could literally add a spotlight with a color changing LED and achieve the same
Ugh,
effect.
bleh. No, because it's backlit.
You could backlight it.
Ugh, it's not factory, my friend.
Don't put mods on your games then, dickhole.
Why? Eh,
Because it's not factory either.
get out of here.
Yeah,
I
see.
I don't know what it is. I think I just want that.
Listeners, you don't understand. Me and Parnell have been fucking arguing about this for
Yeah.
like days, and that's why I'm kind of at this point just like I'm over it because Parnell's trying to stay in a certain price point, and I told him it's just not fucking possible. And he's like, "No, see, one was on Pinside the other day for this amount," and I'm like, "Cool, somebody sold their game for super cheap. I wouldn't
Oh my
put
god.
eggs into that basket."
Wait, wait. Shoot.
What?
That the LED moving targets are on the special. It's the plasma
Oh
disc, which they make a
no!
mod,
Yep,
and the monsters, and then it's just the
yeah,
topper and the front molding.
yep.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean, if
crazy.
that's worth $3,000, then go for it. But I think you're fucking nuts.
Well, Crazy Pants on Facebook hasn't gotten back to me, so I'm assuming I'm an asshole.
I mean, you are. I could have told you that. There wasn't a question of that, my good sir.
I I am able and willing to pay pretty much market value
No, you are not.
today. Yes.
Stop it right now, because no, because we've heard from 2 or 3 people that have already said that they sold
Yeah, but
theirs
those are
recently.
outliers because those are the people that
Mm,
love selling their stuff for stupid. It's like
guess
they're
what?
almost
This
like
is literally
retailers.
the market right now.
Yeah. Except the one that I just missed was under my
Hey,
top
you know
dollar.
what? It's like that medieval madness that popped up that I missed because Jason Jehoshaphat fucked it up. That somebody else missed because of it too. Because they listed a medieval madness that was home use only classic edition for like what, fucking $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. See that one Pinside post recently? See, medieval only sold for 6. Yeah, I couldn't
No,
fucking find a medieval for less than 10.
but there has been a handful that sold for around that range. So I'll see.
Mm-hmm. We will.
If I have to go to an SE,
I'm gonna laugh because right now we found a place that has SEs.
overpriced retail
You know
distributor.
what? You know what? The thing is right now Parnell could be buying a Monster Bash SE new inbox, and
Bleh.
motherfucker hasn't done it because he thinks that's overpriced, but not the $13,000 LEs.
Get your shit out of here.
Anyways,
I
all
have my
right.
morals.
Yeah, I don't know what they are, but sure, you can have them.
Toppers, baby. I'm turning into the. I don't want to say his name.
You're literally turning into a Stern fanboy
How am I a Stern fanboy? I'm gonna have.
because they all love the toppers, man. You got to get the topper.
Oh, well, I mean, I would.
Toppers.
Surprised you didn't buy that $1,000 Ninja Turtle one.
Yeah,
Adds
that would have
modes.
done that. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it did it. Maybe it
No,
didn't.
no, it absolutely did not. The only one where they tried pulling that shit was
It was
Jurassic
Jurassic.
Park. Yep. Anyways, so
We'll see if I need to start knocking on doors.
man, you've already knocked on doors, but yeah, you might
There's
have to be
more
knocking
doors
on
available.
more. Sure,
I've
sure.
bugged everybody on the internet. We'll see what happens.
Right, listeners, if you have a Monster Bash that you'd sell to MCP Pants over here, he's willing to pay close to market value for a Monster Bash LE. So hit him up, I guess.
Close?
Yeah,
Pretty
close.
much.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, Mister. I get out of here, Mister Deals.
You know what? All right, here's the deal. I'm just gonna fucking throw you under the bus. All of our listeners are listening right now because I'm sure they want to know. You want to pay
No,
like
don't talk about prices.
anyways, moving on. So, yeah, is there any other updates from you?
I don't think so.
No, nothing else you did.
Did I do anything?
Yeah,
What did I do?
think about it. You did it today, this morning.
Huh? Picked up pallets?
Yeah. Did you get both the pallets?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I got pallets for my cabinets, and went to some other random place and got another pallet.
did you just like create a Craigslist post looking for free pallets?
No, my buddy
Please
told me to do that, and I
contact.
was like, that is my last resort. I went to the local car club that I'm a part of because I used to have fun cars, and I was like, hey, does anybody have a pallet? I need to ship something, and yeah, some people hit me up, so I had some options. I don't know why I waited to ask them because everybody in the car group is either works at some place with pallets or they also have pallets. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a dum dum
Mm-hmm.
on my part. I should
Right.
have known, but yeah. So I got 2 pallets. I'll I usually put a couple extra screws in them just to firm them up.
Mm-hmm.
I love going above and beyond. Uh, I am nuts. So love wasting my money to make sure that it gets safely there.
Hey, but you know what? That speaks volumes about your quality of service and the white glove touch that Parnell gives to any time you buy a machine from him.
Dude, here's how stupid I am. So when you fold the head down and it rests on your armor or
Yep.
side rails,
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of those little edge protector, like the papery cardboard ones.
Yep.
I even think those will rattle and rub the paint off. Like that,
Mm-hmm.
even using that freaks me out. I almost want to you got the foam little squares for the floor.
Yeah.
I've cut up those before and used them. My buddy did that.
Mm.
I don't know, man. That little stuff just
Got to get some of those cheap yoga mats off your games and use those.
oh yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
That oh, those were dust covers. They weren't stepping on things. My knockoff pin shields that I thought would be all right.
Yeah, they look like
They're way
all right, I
too.
guess.
They're okay, but then like you take them off and then they're all flopping around. And you got to put them back 'cause they're like super thin, cheap yoga mats. Yeah,
You could use one of those.
I probably will. I actually did when I shipped ACDC,
Oh, there you go.
and then I think I cut up the rest of it to help pad the topper or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot. In my quest of finding a Monster Bash, I found a bunch of originals for like half the price of an LE.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, dang it, this would be such a cheap purchase.
Just just get some color changing LED bulbs for the GI. Nikki'll never notice.
Uh,
Save yourself half the cost and just get color changing LEDs for GI.
yeah, and then we're eating dinner, and my buddy Dave calls, and I'm like, oh my god, did he find one? And I got just like all excited. He's like, hey, you're looking for a Monster Bash, right? I was like, oh yeah. He's like, does that? He's like, I forgot how he worded it, but he's like, is it you wanted a remake? And I was like, yeah. And he thought of me because his buddy was selling an original, so I was, oh, too bad. I have to go based upon my wife's desires of color changing GI. Darn. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so originals are selling,
Yeah, they are.
or I should say they're being listed.
Yep.
It's kind of weird though, because like you see all these, you hear about all these games moving, but then you don't see sale ads. So I'm assuming a lot of people just sell to their friends and stuff.
Right.
Easy way to
Which
do it.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
How do you feel knowing that TNA is worth more than I think all of the Monster Bash originals that you looked at? Does
so
that make you sick to the stomach a little bit?
it makes me wonder. I don't know if you remember, but like I think when you got yours, I was like, should I trade my Tron for a TNA? And you're like, I don't know.
Well, we posted it up and nobody got back to you.
Oh, did you have
Remember?
it? I remember you posting it, but did you have a trade for TNA on it?
Yeah.
Oh, hmm. I think that's still a game I want,
Mm.
but I'll have to kind of just wait to see how this game room shakes out. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just sending you some private. We're passing messages, listeners. It's great. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's really crazy. Pin prices right now are just nuts.
Well, and it's funny because we don't have to go into this too deep, but like, okay, so I can play. You and I have been in the hobby for me a little longer, but you have been in the hobby for a few years, so you've seen
Mhm.
the prices slowly increase, and
They
I've
didn't
seen
slowly increase,
oh
dude. One
quickly.
day that shit was going for half of what it's now going for.
Well, back in my day, it was a fourth of that price. So like some of these games, it's just hard. It's hard to justify, but as long as the market holds, for instance, like your No Fear, you paid more than I would have, than I was offered one, and then you were able to clean it up and then trade it and you
Yes,
created value.
yes.
Um, so I'm complaining about prices, and then I find a game that I want, and I will spend whatever on it. And I just think it's funny. It's like when you find the thing you want, and it's very specific, then your eye of value may change because you are blinded by whatever, because that's the thing you want. So I want this LE, and so I'm like, well, I'll pay a couple grand extra just because. It's like, well, okay. So I'm kind of a hypocrite, I guess. But
Yep.
if that's the one thing I have to have, then yeah, you got to pay to play.
I mean, that's why Monster Bash LE for you, I think, is going to be like my medieval madness for me.
Well,
I've
it'll never
tried to get
happen.
that game so many fucking times, and every time I can't find one. I can hold on to cash, I can hold out on trades and everything else, and it just never comes into fruition. So I've just given up. I'm sure one day now, the pinball gods are just going to mock me, and it's just going to like casually come by in some kind of fucking ridiculous trade. But until then, I'm fine with it. It's
I'm
really
I'm surprised you
it's
didn't
okay.
get any for. I think you listed Attack from Mars for trade, and I didn't think you got any offers for
Nope.
medieval.
Except for the one guy who had a royal, and he wanted me to pay like
Oh, like a lot.
crazy on top.
Yeah.
I think it was like $4,000 at the time, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
no.
The the one good thing though, I think, is that my family's gonna love Monster Bash, and so I guess I'm rationalizing the price because it's like I'll probably have it for a long, long time because it's fun, it's funny, it's family friendly, quote unquote. I mean, my daughter started talking about Frankenstein peeps because her my they got Halloween peeps now. So the other night when she actually ate her dinner, she had a Frankenstein peep, and I had told her, I'm like, oh, there's Frankenstein and Monster Bash, and she goes, yeah, but the peep is just that round head, not the whole body. I was like, oh, okay, thank you for
Yeah.
being so technical. So I guess that's kind of exciting too. Like to your point, back when we talked about this last episode, was it brings joy to my life knowing that somebody in my family would be excited to own and play this. So that's part of my battle of pinball owning.
Yep.
So whatever. Anyway, what is your update? I can't imagine that this is going to be, something small.
Well, I think we have a new record for the fastest game that's come in and out of my basement.
How? I thought it was like 2 days or something.
You're right. Yeah. Well, I don't know because the No Fear had to wait a while for parts. No, okay. Then we'll just say that it's a tie.
Are you searching it?
Yeah, I can't tell. I honestly don't know. I think this game came and left quicker, but I'm not sure. Anyways, um,
Did any of you? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. No. Let's build up the suspense some more.
Did the parts you ordered for Black Knight come in yet?
um, 90% of them did.
Okay, because you
So
you
I'm
got
actually
some
I'm
mods and
actually trading it away, missing one of the mods, but the person that's getting it's just gonna get the mod later.
so you told me about this before we recorded, but like I have no info on who this is because you said it's local to you.
Kind of, yeah. Semi-local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell me that off air, that
Oh, I
story.
will. Yep. But yeah, no, oh my god. Guess who's messaging me right now?
It's somebody that wants to sell you a Monster Bash.
No, it's our lovely friend Jerry.
Tell Jerry, tell me the theme so I can put a deposit down.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to tell you that. And if he did tell me, I would probably be underneath like the
The Sorcerer's
reoccurring
NDA.
NDA. It wasn't Sorcerer's NDA. It was just like an NDA. I wouldn't be able to talk about it anyways. But in either case, moving on back to more important pressing matters. Yeah. So essentially, this person listens to the podcast and they heard about it and they just immediately hit me up with a
Shut
trade.
your face. They listen?
They do.
Dang. Look at
I
you.
know.
Look at
I
you
know.
making profits off this. I don't know if it's a profit, but
Yeah, so a friend of mine had reached out and had also, who's a regular, said that if I wanted to sell it to let him know because he wanted it.
oh.
So this was the second person that had heard through the podcast that I had. I had picked up this game like days ago. But Black Knight for me, God, I haven't even shopped them out yet, and um, I've been blowing it up. I think every game I'm still scoring over like 100 million.
Dude, but I mean,
Like,
have you tried putting it on harder settings and like the posts all the way up, or I mean, do you not want to make it so hard that Chelsea hates it, or I'm sorry.
okay,
Do
so
you,
my LE, I had it on the hardest settings you could set it on.
so do you, but so the software's on hard, but you didn't like make the posts assholes?
The posts were as they shipped from the factory, which
Okay.
is presumably how Steve figures it should be played. The route game, I think, is set to maximum asshole, and I haven't changed it.
Like the posts all the way up.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. So, um, I don't know. I mean, it's a great game. I love it. Like, it'll always have a close place in my heart. But I guess this is kind of what happens when you pick up a game second time around. You think like there's going to be like this whole rediscovering of, I don't know, whatever. And in reality, you pick it up and you're like, oh, no, you're exactly the same as I thought you were last time I saw you. It's kind of like trying to hit your ex back up to go back out on a date. Like, there's no
bad
fucking
idea.
surprise. You know exactly what's there. There's no mystery. You know what you're doing. You just don't quite know what you're doing because you're barking up that tree. But
like
it,
the sorcerer you knows, like in your crystal ball, what's gonna happen, but you just go, nah, it'll be different this time.
yeah, exactly. So, needless to say, Black Knight for me, I love it. It's still always going to be like an amazing game that's held close to my heart. But I fucking shred on this Black Knight, man, and that's one thing that I can already tell you. Like 2 days into, well, not 2 days. It's been longer than that, but since I've owned it, me and Chelsea have played a few games on it, and there's been a lot of waiting from Chelsea. And Chelsea doesn't really like to wait 5 to 10 minutes for my ball to be done for her to then play and potentially, play for a minute or two or three and then drain and then watch me play for another 15 minutes. Like, that's just not really fun for her. I mean, fuck, it wouldn't be fun for me. So yeah, I think it's just kind of, it is what it is. But yep, Black Knight's leaving. Yeah, by the time you guys hear this, it'll be gone. So that's kind of, yeah, it's leaving in 2 days. So
Uh-oh.
by the time this podcast airs, it's gone.
So what do you replace it with?
So I'm going from a Black Knight Sword of Rage routed pinball machine that has a few nicks on the back box on one side to a Star Trek Pro that's essentially new out of box with 300 plays.
Oh, wait, was it in someone's house for a while and then they brought it to route, or?
No. So it's been routed and it has 300 games on it.
Does that location just like dead?
It's next to my house, so I don't think there's a lot of pinball people here in my town. Yeah. It's only been on a location supposedly for like, I don't know, from what he said, like less than 2 months.
Yeah, but how is it that only that many games?
What do you mean?
Dude, that game's like 6 years old.
Yeah. No, it was like they just 2 months ago took it out of the box.
What? So they
Yeah.
found a new in-box one?
They had a new in box.
Oh, they just let it sit for that long?
Yeah.
Fuckers are crazy.
Well, and then they opened it. It was like...
Well, good thing it doesn't have the AA batteries anymore.
Right. I think this is like the last build too. I don't know, whatever, but
I would have a hard time, like, unless you had a warehouse and like if it was some operator that just had tons of storage, but like I guess we're kind of hobbyists, so we would just want to rip open a brand new game, but that's a good game. That's a flow monster.
Yes, it is.
And I love the update with Carl Urban.
Oh my God, Carl Urban!
So it's so many good callouts. It was like it was so good to see a person want to go back and add. Like I wanted. Yeah. He might have gotten paid, but like
whatever,
he went and did it. Where like you being asked to have more callouts on Sorcerer's Apprentice, like that's so cool that someone is like, yep, I'm gonna go back and add more content.
Hell yeah. No, I think it's awesome. His callouts are great. Carl Urban, dude, he starred in Doom, the movie. He did Judge Dredd, or excuse me, Dredd, and that is an amazing
Oh,
movie.
the new Dread.
Well, it's now old, but the
Yeah, but
newest Dredd,
I
yes.
loved it, and I was like, "Where's the sequel, you jackasses?"
I know, but I mean, he's been in a ton of movies, and I love him in everything that he does. Like, I could watch that man balance his checkbook and be entertained. And he obviously did an amazing job in the Star Trek movies. So, like, me personally, I think like to have a pin that he did voices on, I just think that that's really cool. But if I'm gonna swap out a Steve Ritchie, it sort of made sense to me to swap it out for another Steve Ritchie. And I'm going from a game that had one minor flaw on the back box head and had like, I don't know, like 3,500 plays to a game that, you know, a home use only individual would have racked up in their ownership of it like easily. So I don't really feel too bad about it. And it's been a game that we have nearly gotten a few times. I mean, I've even spoken to you about. I mean, fuck, how many times have I talked to you about nearly picking up a Star Trek?
A couple, because there was an episode I thought where me and you God, and this was back when I was at my office, because I remember being in the break room and we were talking about the one that had like 30,000 plays on it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I've been like Star Trek Pro has been on my list, but it's just never like I nearly got one, but then another local guy snagged it from under me because I lowballed the dude because it'd been up for a little bit. So I totally wheelered myself out of that deal. But legitimately though, I have wanted one for a while, and so when this one literally was just like, "Hey, I'll trade you," it was like, yeah, no, okay, done. Like, let's do it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe Black Knight's technically worth more, but I think the fact that I've never owned a Star Trek Pro, uh, and the fact that it's not home use only, but it's essentially brand new. Yeah, that's enough for me. Like, I'm a simple man. I enjoy simple things.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've heard that the code is pretty deep
It
because you
is.
you complete that triangle 3 times, like 3 different levels.
Right.
And you
And it
told me
gets
tonight that
increasingly harder.
yeah, and I thought, well, is it the same thing over and over? And you said no, that
No.
every level it changes. So
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
Yep.
I
But
remember the launch part. I remember going to the Star Trek launch party, and that's where I did really well for, on accident. And in one of my like games, my two buddies wouldn't leave me alone, and they were like bugging me. And the tournament guy was like, "You guys got to get back!" And then all of a sudden, I drained.
yeah, I have a friend like that you know occasionally will bother me and start talking to me when I'm having a good ball. And
Just
we're
get out of
we're
here.
we're we're sort of competitive with each other, and so a lot of times when we're playing, it's against each other. And yeah, that motherfucker will absolutely start in institution. We'll start initializing some advanced tactics to try to fuck with me. So um, maybe that's what they're trying to do, buddy.
Oh, they were, because they were
Yep.
mad that I was
See.
beating them. But like I've never done it again. Like Ghostbusters, that launch party I just bombed.
Yeah. I'm normally not the best at launch parties, so I feel that. But I also haven't been to a launch party in.
Oh yeah.
Jurassic Park was the last launch party I went to.
When my kids get older and like they can maybe come with, where it's not like babies or have to change their diaper and stuff. Maybe I'll be able to go hit some more places or like events up. Otherwise, it's really hard to like ditch your family and have everybody home, and they're all in that age where it's like like really big. What do you call it? Like responsibilities. Because everything's in the Twin Cities for me, like, so I have to drive a couple hours one way.
Hmm.
But
Well, maybe there'll be someone up in Duluth doing it too.
yeah, maybe in like 10 years,
Maybe,
maybe when I retire, I'll start my own.
maybe we could hope, right?
I'm just gonna open my basement. $10 $10 a game. Does that sound good?
Hmm.
Oh, speaking of, so now that Godzilla's shipping, people were talking about if you're going to raise the price up. So the current average, I would think, on most games is $1 a play, and then some people, do the $2 you get 3 games. But people were talking about in a thread on Pinside about would you go to $1.50 or $1.25 a play in on your new Godzilla? And one guy was even like, I might go to $2. It's like, holy shit. I mean, I remember it being this discussion probably happens every time they've raised the price. Where it's like, I will never pay that much, and then you raise the price and everybody pays $1. Because I kind of remember when it went to $1 a play on pinball, and it was like, damn, this. Especially like when I remember playing Tron, and I was like, I put $1 in, and I was done in like 30 seconds, like all 3 balls.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's you with any game.
oh come on, I could probably beat you at the heist.
Maybe, maybe.
So, what do you think about that? What do you think about raising a route game price up above $1 a play? Do you think
I think
the
if
pro?
it's a premium and
Mm,
if it's Godzilla, I could see it.
Hmm.
And I think moving forward, if they're premiums on location, I could see it because I mean the thing is, and this is something we have to remember, right? Like, all right, the hobby operators, we're gonna kind of just put them. I don't want to say aside, but we're gonna kind of put them aside, right, for this discussion, and we're really now going to talk about the guys who arguably saved pinball, right? So I mean, in the mid 2000s when pinball was truly like floundering and struggling, there was a group of people that helped pinball continue to move forward by buying shit and putting it on location. And these are
Mhm.
like the big operators. I mean, the ones that have, triple digits for locations. And like their whole thing is, you know, their livelihood is based on how well their pool tables and jukeboxes and pinball machines and whatever other like bullshit they have that they'll put on a location. And some of it's going to earn all right, but then a lot of it isn't. And I don't think, if you're buying the latest pinball machines, especially if we're talking about moving forward potentially, distributors or not distributors, operators buying premiums for location. I mean, that is a huge fucking amount of money that these guys are having to put down. Because I mean, word on the street is operators are getting fucked over just like homeowners are, and they aren't getting some crazy discounts like they used to be able to. That's from a undisclosed source that I'm not going to talk about any further, but they're getting fucked over just like we are, the home market. So with that being said, like I think that these guys have to pay off that $9,000 machine nearly. Street price slash operator price might be slightly cheaper, but not as much as y'all think. But we're talking about $9,000 they have to recoup in like 4 months, 3 months before the next title, and
Premiums
then
went up.
that,
Are they 8.99?
yeah, they're $9,000. So I mean, even the pros are almost seven. I mean, the pros are like tickling $7,000. So I mean, I feel for operators that are actually out there trying to make a living because now they have to go from paying a lot cheaper. I'm not going to use prices that I know about. They were paying a lot cheaper to what they're having to pay now, and they still have to pay it off in the same amount of time. I mean, it's fucking impossible because even if you have the same amount of people, or maybe even a little bit more, like, I mean, it's not like these guys are clearing thousands of dollars a month consistently every month. And even then, you're talking 9 months before your return of investment. A lot of these guys, supposedly, from what I've understood, is they'll buy a machine, they'll just route it until they literally can get out of it and they're not upside down in it anymore. And they really aren't making like shit tons of money on pinball, but they're doing it because they love pinball. So like I feel bad for operators because they're kind of getting fucked, and we've yet to see what kind of shisty bullshit Stern's going to pull in the next 6 months or year after they mine a bunch of data off of this new app that they're pushing for free. And then they come back and they either ask the users and or the operators to then start paying them money every month for this service. I mean, that's when shit's going to get truly bonkers. Because then every machine that you've in the past year upgraded to have this cool new feature, you're now going to have to pay to continue to have that feature. I mean, just think about it, $20 a machine per month.
Wait, is this something you're coming up with, or is this in their plan?
I mean, think about it, man. How greasy is Stern?
Oh no, I could see it happening.
I
I
could
actually thought it wouldn't be a
absolutely,
monthly. I could see it be a monthly fee, but I'm hoping that their price increase is covering this instead.
yeah. Uh-huh. Well, Stern knows so much about networking and, everything to deal with, having like actual servers, right, Parnell? Because I mean, when you think about it and you think pinball and Stern, you think, oh, these guys are obviously great at building software as a service, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. See, that chuckling is his listeners. For those that aren't picking up, this is my sarcasm and him chuckling at it because there's a lot of infrastructure that's to be put in place because this is what me and Parnell do for a living. Uh, I don't think that I don't think it's going to be a smooth launch. I think they're quickly going to realize that they're in over their heads. And I think that in the next year, whether they're in over their heads or not, they're going to start fucking charging for this shit because they know that they can. Because if you want to have the coolest features, you got to pay to play.
Did they release their app yet? Because they said they were going to release it when. How do I have 103 app updates? Cheapers. They said they were going to release it when Godzilla launched. I don't see it.
Well, that's crazy because Godzilla, spoiler alert, listeners, it's already at locations right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was
But
this week.
supposedly, from my inside source, I'm being told that they will hear that there's a presentation / presumably their actual launch of the software tomorrow
Oh, okay. So,
for the
oh,
app.
yeah,
I
Wednesday.
think I'm poking here a little bit. I know that there's a presentation about this new app tomorrow. So it goes to stand on the fact that a bunch of these machines are, I think, now over in Europe and being distributed. And then there's also the ones here in the United States that I already know that have gotten to locations across the US now. It stands to matter that, uh, or it stands as evidence that tomorrow will be the soft launch / launch of it.
Get your phone app store ready. You gonna sign up?
Absolutely.
Mm, God,
Take my data.
I don't know if I like Stern, man.
Oh, I really don't. But until more pinball companies can be coming out with machines all the time, they're just kind of like a necessary evil. Because I'd still rather be paying whatever a Stern Pro is now over fucking $7,500 or $10,000, or excuse me, $10,500 on a JJP, and having worse playfield issues than I've seen Stern come out with in a hot minute. I mean, I feel bad for anybody listening that has a JJP that's having serious playfield issues. I'm not trying to make light of that. It's more just, I mean, if I had to pick between the two evils, I guess I got to go with Stern and continue to double down anytime Multimorphic comes out with anything new in the interim until they become the huge power pinball company that I hope that they become soon.
They could become this powerhouse if they tell me what the next theme is.
Mm. Well, I'm sure someone at Multimorphic just laughed and went and told Jerry not to tell you anything.
You know what'll happen?
Mm.
Oh my God. So yeah, Monday, a couple days ago, I get downstairs, log in, on my computer, go to work, and my internet is like dial-up, and it's been kind of sketchy for like a couple weeks, and I'm like, what the hell? And so I was like, well, maybe I hit the cord with the lawnmower or something stupid. So I walk out to the backyard and I look at the pole. I start following the line around. Sure enough, there's like, squirrels chewing all over the freaking internet cable. I'm like, oh my God. So I call Call up the internet company and they come out to replace it. Wait, where was I going with the story?
I have no fucking idea. Like, actually, no idea.
What were we about to talk about? So, 'cause I was gonna lead it to the slow internet.
Multimorphic?
What am I doing?
I don't know.
I haven't even taken NyQuil yet.
Listeners, this is Turned Up Parnell.
What? What? My God. I had a reason to go to this internet crappy story, and now I don't
Mhm.
remember it. I don't know. They replaced the cable. Now my internet's back. Now I can download new P3 games. Was
That's
that it?
amazing.
Maybe that was it. I
Maybe
don't
that
even
was
know.
it. Yeah. Well,
Dang it.
I hope that
Cut that whole story out. That was stupid. It's a waste of time.
I mean, you know, it is what it is, buddy.
I should like write down while I'm thinking so that I don't forget like this. Like,
You having to do more than think and breathe at the same time is kind of terrifying.
oh boy,
I
man.
don't think you'd be able to make complete sentences.
I got early onset Alzheimer's already.
Yeah, it's all right
Thank
though.
you.
We still love you. Yeah, no, but I think that at the end of the day, American Pinball just isn't coming out with anything that like blows me away. If Oktoberfest had a different theme and it didn't have fucking yodeling, like literally any other theme, I would probably have owned one by now. I don't know if it'd be like a long-term keeper, but there's a ton of like stuff in it. And I think that like could be fun enough to have for some amount of time in the basement. But as it sits, that game is fucking grating on me in like a way. Like I'd rather own a Rob Zombie than an Oktoberfest. Uh, and you know how bad people rag on that game. So I don't know. Just American Pinball's Hot Wheels. I know a lot of people say they really like it. I played it at the tournament. I'm very like about it. I guess if someone had offered to trade me, their Hot Wheels for my Black Knight nearly straight up, like I would have done that.
Do you think
But it
it's
would have
good
been like a
for
very
new players?
Yeah. No, it is because you can stack modes with multi balls, and there's stuff to do. I guess if you had to buy a game, and let's just say that you didn't care about theme, and you didn't care about having weird back boxes in your basement, because American Pinball's back boxes are weird. I think at the 6,200 or 6,500 or whatever the street price was / is for those, I think that it does offer some level of competition. Because if you sat me down and in an alternate universe, Munsters had just launched and Hot Wheels had just launched, I would absolutely want a Hot Wheels more than a Munsters.
What?
Straight up.
You crazy dog.
But I hate Munsters.
Oh, I like it.
Like,
So fun.
yeah, I didn't like it. But I think that there is, I don't know. I think Hot Wheels is probably their least mech game, because Oktoberfest was like flooded with stuff. And then Hot Wheels seems to be like a lot flowier, less toys and mechs in it, which is fine. I just I want more from them right now. They don't get the pass with Oktoberfest, where it's just like, yeah, see, we can load a game up with a bunch of mechs. All right, so moving on, we're going to make a game that has less mechs because it's cheaper to produce. Here it is, same price. Come buy it. It's like, no, you need to really keep like honing playfield design, and they need to just stop dicking around and pick up fucking Ryan McQuaid and get Sonic Spinball like actually popping and happening. Or they need to come out with a Hot Wheels 2. This is what Hot Wheels should have been, and just retheme his game, because it actually has a loop-de-loop in it, which they said was impossible. And kind of go down that rabbit hole too, because like straight up right now, the games I'm most excited for is Multimorphic's new games that they're going to continue to come out with, and what is coming out, and Sonic Spinball potentially being announced, released somewhere, getting picked up somewhere and getting announced, released. Like those are right now my like 2 most excited games for. So I don't know.
You're not excited for Godzilla? Because
Obviously, I'm excited for Godzilla. I fucking bought one. I
Hmm.
sold turtles for it, but I didn't think I had to talk about that one because I already bought
Oh,
it.
all right.
Obviously I'm fucking excited, and obviously I'm, waiting with bated breath to get the chance and opportunity to have mine. But here we are. So
And
just
so
waiting.
on the Eclectic Gamers podcast I just listened to today, they Dennis like rattled off all these rumors, and it sounds like they're gonna use Legends of Valhalla for American Pinball's next game. But when I saw the game and his last game, Wrath of Olympus, man, I don't know if I could see that game being a $6,000 game. It's gonna be probably more than that. Now the market might support it though at the moment, so that might be a good time for them to release it this year. But they said they're gonna get 2 games out this year, and it's getting close to the end of the year.
Yeah, it is getting close to the end of the year.
They've
Did they
been
come out with a game this year?
no, and
Oof.
they said they were gonna have 2 this year, and
I guess they're both coming in December, everybody. Let's get ready.
I mean Stern's having a new game coming out this December too, and the rumor on that is Rush. But at the same time,
Mm,
they use a lot of code names, and I don't know if that's the code name. But
I don't know, man.
a dad band
I don't. I
sounds right up
don't.
their alley.
I mean, it does. I don't know if it's coming out by December though.
Hmm.
Mm,
Borg, December. Yeah, it is because I don't know
I
if
think.
if
I think
CES is
they're
going to
missing
happen
it.
again.
I
No,
think
because
they're missing it.
they Stranger Things the same. They did the same thing with
Yeah,
Stranger.
but their lead times right now tell a very different story.
That's because they would rather make the next game and have people pay ahead and be on these stupid waiting lists.
I mean, I get that, but I guess what I'm trying to, um, I guess the picture I'm trying to paint right now is I think that I'm you guys listeners, you can put my calendar, you can whatever, mark me down. They aren't gonna fucking come out with it this year. It's gonna be next year. I think they're not gonna miss it by much, but I think they're missing it. I
Well,
really do.
if it's back to the old days, they'll release it at CES because I think it might be in person this year.
They still haven't even fucking shipped Godzillas
Dude,
everywhere
Godzilla's
yet.
shipped this week.
I mean, they're still in the process of shipping out literally the first like mini batch of pros.
October. Wait, is November next?
Yeah, there's no fucking way
Oh wow.
because they
Hmm.
have they're doing a mini run of pros. Then the rumor is they're doing a super small batch of premiums because they want people to buy those over pros. Then they're doing the LEs, and then they're doing the pros. Now I realize they have multiple lines and they could be doing multiple games at the same time, but that is just going to totally fuck up wait times. You could seriously be looking at like a year and a half for your game, especially if they keep pumping games out before they get caught up on demand.
But dude, they can get 50 games a week.
That's awesome. But they seriously have people that have paid for and ordered an Elvira House of Horrors like months ago this year that are currently being told from another source that I have that there is no timeline on when that's going to happen. And from what I've heard from another source, as far as who has the overall picture of what they're building in the next, I think, 6 months, Elvira ain't on that fucking list. And I'm just picking one game in particular that I actually have like these specific details for. I know there are others. I mean, that's like the kicker here is like they haven't even supplied all the Mandalorian fucking people that have ordered
Oh,
games.
dude,
And now they have Godzilla. And now you're telling me you think that in the next, like, let's be generous and say, month and a half, they're going to come out with another game and
here's
try
the
to get
funny
it
part.
shipped.
Well, I was watching the Godzilla stream,
Yeah.
and it
Which
seemed like
one?
the premium was it the LE, whatever the initial
Okay.
one.
The initial one. So that's the premium.
It seems like they let it slip that Iron Man was going back on the line.
I didn't catch that.
Wait, what? Because you muted yourself too early
I didn't
when they
catch
were
that.
talking. Oh, it was when the I don't know who he was, but it was like when the programmer was talking about the Insider Connected, right at
Hmm.
the end of that, he had been talking about it, and then Deadflip was like, "Yeah, yeah, no, let's not. That's also a good game, but Deadpool's the best game." So they're doing another run of Deadpool and like maybe Iron Man. And Iron Man, they probably have all the crap sitting on the shelf for anyway, so they could easily just. So that might be the game we get this fall or the Christmas. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
just
it could just be an
fit
Iron
50
Man.
Iron Mans
Yeah.
because it's like, well, we always said we were gonna do vaults, and we have all this stuff on the shelves.
I mean, it's possible. I still think that overall, like, um, I don't think they're coming out with an original theme by the end of the year. I just don't think it's happening.
They might announce it and then be like, it's a couple months out.
Yeah, but Gary doesn't like to do that anymore because
No,
apparently Pinside's really mean to him, and he really doesn't like Pinside and podcasters like us because we end up talking about it at nauseum, and then like we're being really mean and bullying the big bag Gary because he's just trying to bring more games to us, but
hmm.
that's why they don't show distributors anymore until like the fucking morning of the announcement because they know that all the distributors are leaking the info
Well, I was gonna say that's
directly.
that's the distributor's fault. You got people leaking it.
Yeah, but I mean, they can't tell distributors, they can't give them early heads up anymore because then the distributors just leak the pictures and then they still make it to Pinside and then everybody bitches about it because Gary's literally talked about that. He's
Hmm.
like, I hate fucking when stuff doesn't get launched right because then everyone's on Pinside picking it apart before they even see the game or play it.
I will say that there is a point to that because what game was it? There was a couple. I want to say it was like maybe Ghostbusters or Monsters. Like people poo pooed it, and then you saw it in person. You're like, oh no, this looks really good in person. Because like the black and white Monsters was drop dead gorgeous to me.
I think it was them saving money on printing costs,
Oh
but
no, because the Monsters to me is a black and white TV show, so the colored Monsters look like garbage, and I would have
right.
bought a Pro with black and white
Hmm.
over a normal Pro. Like when they did the color premium, I was like, what idiots were complaining to Stern that they wanted a colored premium? Who are these
A bunch
fans
of
of
people
Monsters?
probably.
Because the only Monsters in color were the movies that came out after, and ugh, because the coloring of the skin and stuff in black and white was just left up to you, like left up to your imagination. And then when you see it, you're like, they're green, like they're like this weird teal green. It's like, ugh, they look funny.
They do.
Whatever.
So you
Anyway,
got to watch more of the Godzilla stream.
yeah, I watched a little more.
And what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it looks fun.
Oh wow. That's
I
such good input, buddy.
I missed a lot of the
Can you
gameplay. Like I saw
Oh
the
my god.
Keith held up the mech. Then I saw the Insider Connected, so he held up the bridge mech, and which was pretty neat looking. And then the building mech with like the 5 levels or whatever it was.
I think it's 4, but yeah, well, 5 if you count the rooftop.
Yeah, dude, there's a buttload of levels,
There's
so that's
yeah.
pretty neat. I don't know if they needed that many. I guess that just it made it tall
Well, they
because
needed
every level
to
was.
because the building, I think by default is at its like tippy top, and that means that the balls are traveling normally through the rails, going to the flippers that they're supposed to, and that means that the building is a bash toy, but then or no, excuse me, the building is diverting the ball out to where the magna grab thingy is. But then the building will sink down when it's ready to lock balls. A, so you can lock balls up top. But then B, the entrance is now, instead of diverting to the left, it's diverting to the right. I think underneath plastics or into a subway for the vertical up kicker to then kick it out and roll it onto the roof. I mean, it's a cool mech, but it's really just a two-way diverter that goes down extra low to let the balls out. I mean, it's very elegant and simple, but cool. But not worth $2,000. Cool. The Bridge Mac's cool too, but I can live without that stuff. I didn't need it. It was a want, not a need. Parnell's went completely silent. Listeners, I guess the podcast moving forward is just going to be Ryan.
What?
You've just been quiet this whole time.
Did you not read the chat?
Oh, no.
I had to go to the bathroom so bad. All
Cool.
this tea.
Well, in either case, I am excited for Godzilla. I am super excited for Multimorphic's next game. I'm excited for the new callouts to be implemented that I did for Multimorphic, because there are more coming. And I'm also excited for Star Trek to land in our basement.
Interesting.
Gasp. I know.
Well, I'm trying to think. Do we have a holiday coming up or anything? Where I can get a day off of work.
Yeah, fucking Thanksgiving. It's next month.
Halloween.
That's not a. A, it's on a Sunday, and B, that's not a holiday.
Not for
Getting you to come down on the weekend's impossible.
Good point. I probably have to take my kids trick or treating.
You for sure have to. I can go ahead and guarantee that right now.
Whatever we're gonna call that, where I just eat their candy and they go to, like, 5 people's houses.
Yep.
That we know.
Well, in either case, I think it's that time.
We're done?
Yeah.
Should I
Unless
sell
you have
something
anything else
else?
to talk about.
I should sell more stuff.
You know what? You should. Listeners, here, I'm going to offer you the deal of a lifetime. You ready? Parnell is just going to agree to it because I said it on the podcast. If you have a Cosmic Cart playfield, Parnell will trade you minus shipping, which you must cover on both ends, for his skill roll as is.
No, I'll pay cash for Cosmic
No.
Cart.
So, listeners, hit him up. He's ready and waiting. I can hear it in his voice.
Do you remember before I got my P3, a Cosmic Cart playfield went up for sale, and it was like cheap. Oh, so sad. Or maybe it was after I got my P3, and it was like I was broke. Had to build my savings back up.
See, so listeners, I'm just telling you. Cosmic Cart playfield, he'll trade you straight up, but you got to pay for shipping for both Cosmic Cart to him, and you got to set up and pay for the shipping for Skill Roll to be sent to you. I think it's a fair trade.
No, because I haven't even played Skill Roll yet. I mean, I want to.
Yes, you have. Put a fucking quarter in it. Oh, look, you've played, or a nickel in it. Oh, you played it. Like, there's, do I need to come over when you do it and make ding, 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 ding noises behind you as you do it? Because that's literally the only thing that's missing from it. And you've had it for 3 years. Like,
what? Have I?
Yeah. You're not fixing it, my dude.
Dude, I will, but I have all these, higher priority game sales.
Oh my God. Listeners, hit him up with that deal. I promise he'll make it if you actually hit him up. Sweeten the pot. I don't know. Tell him you'll give him some coffee or something. That might be the tipping point for him. I know. Cosmic Cart, and you got to buy him Sorcerer's Apprentice. There we go. And pay shipping both ways. That would do it.
Cosmic Cart. Is there any for sale?
Oh, see, look. Parnell's literally considering it, listeners. So
no, I'm not. I'm trying to see if Cosmic Cart playfield's for sale. Jerk.
He'll do
it. Yeah, right. I will not. God, I keep coughing.
All right. Well, on that, I wish you listeners good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, and good night.
I don't know if that's enough. You can reach us.
Check this out. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
You can reach us at Flippin and Mashing at gmail.com, or check us out on FacePage at FacePage. I don't know. Search Flippin and Mashing.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think it is just FacePage. Let's see. It's pulling up. Yep, facebook.com/Flippin and Mashing. One word.
Yep. Come check us out. Come talk to us. Message me. I'll talk at you.
Do we have a? Did you? Is the new thing posted there? Like the new podcast?
Nope.
Oh.
We had that many listeners, and I didn't even fucking do anything. We have some lovely listeners. I love all of you. But
Hey,
please,
have you been to the BFH on the heist?
no.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot to tell you. When I had people over,
Mm-hmm.
I got all but one into a heist. I,
Wow, that's awesome.
what do you call that?
A
No.
heist?
No, they have different levels like diamond and whatever.
Oh, I don't.
Sapphire or something. At
Yeah,
any
yeah.
rate, it was amazing. All of a sudden I started the heist and I like kind of didn't know what I was doing. And then I looked down and only one person was in jail and I was like, "Oh my god." And then I drained.
Oh my god, I'm so shocked.
Because this is so bad. I started. I'm like, oh my god, you gotta check this out. This like I got like almost everybody in this heist. It's gonna be great. And then all of a sudden it just boop 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 drain, and it was like, well, that was a very underwhelming you know mode for you guys to watch. So maybe I shouldn't call out things when I'm doing them. I should just let people figure it out for themselves.
It's all right. I went to go play Star Trek tonight on location because it's technically not home use only. And I don't know. I walked up and I don't know who's been fucking playing it, but apparently Parnell's been just hanging out over there because the replay was at like 10 million. I mean, me and Chelsea both were just. I mean, like we put $2 into it, and I think we played like 6 games, and I walked away with credits on it because Chelsea's like, it's getting late, it's time to go to bed, and I'm like, okay. So like I walked away, but I put Grand Champion up on it, and I don't know, the whole like 4 people that were in the bar kept looking over because the machine kept making that like donk noise
Yeah, like,
for the knock.
what is that game
So
thing doing in this place?
yeah, yeah, but it's pretty funny.
Hmm.
So keep hanging out at the local pizza place, and I can go in and just crush the high scores. Thank you, buddy.
Well, I guess when it's at your house, maybe I should sneak down there soon so I can put my name on it.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I had a hell of a good game tonight, though. So I don't know. I probably won't have that good of a game for a while once it gets into the basement, because that's normally what happens. You like go play test a game, you go to somebody's house, you go in and you play it. Maybe you get it home, right? And like those first couple games, you're just killing it. And then every fucking game after that, it's just like, oops, oop, oop, drain, oop, drain, oh, it's dead, Jim. Like, oh, cool, okay. Speaking of, now I need to rewatch all the Star Trek movies.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I think I've seen the last one. Yeah, pretty sure. I liked them.
The last one's probably the best one, in the sense that instead of them being all about like, oh my god, the galaxy, or oh my god, like the whole cities being destroyed and Earth is gonna fall and whatever else. Instead, it's like, there's a much smaller story where it's not as like, I forget the term that some people use, but it's not like comic book movies where like everything's just destruction and like cities and part of the planet. I mean, it's not like that level. Instead, it's a lot more like kind of grounded. And I really like the last one. It's good. I
Was
like
the
I like them all. I'm not
was that the
talking
one?
shit.
Is that the one where he headquarters gets attacked?
No, that's the second one.
Oh god. So maybe I haven't seen the last one.
You haven't, it sounds like, and you should, because the last one's good. But good night, listeners. Holy shit, we Minnesota goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye. Cut. I gotta pee. This tea is running through me.
Throw him. Nah.
Dang, so angry. You should take that out of the podcast.
Okay.